Thank you for purchasing the Orpington Lodge. We are going to put it together, and we start with panels A, B, C, and D. 4 panels on the outside, A, B, C, and D. And you start by putting the corresponding dowel into the hole. Front panel goes in here, has to be level with the floor because I need to have space for the clean out door when it comes time for the clean out door to be put in. All right, I'm putting the hasp on the door, and I'm going to put a mark for my first screw. That works. And I'm going to repeat the process down here. So in the middle, we have a slide bolt, and we're putting that in place. I'm marking 2 screws, and that will finish the security on this door. And this actually has some flexibility, so it'll match up with the peg, even if the peg's not perfectly lined up. So we're building the first side of the nesting box base. So now that should fit right in there. Perfect. Pre-drilled hole. Pre-drilled hole. P1s. Okay, the nesting box will go on top of this base, and this same procedure is repeated on the other side. Base, nesting box, so it's a repeat on the other side of what we're doing right here. Now I take the panel marked N and the panel marked P, and place them in place. Pre-drilled holes, put in the P3 screw. There are 4 screws. Front panel, the hasp on the outside naturally. Put this into place. This is the floor to the nesting coop. I'm going to slide it just like a drawer in, and then after it's in place, then I'm going to put 3 screws in. This separates the nesting box into 2 separate sections, and there's 3 screws that attach the nesting box to the coop. You need to line up the ramp so that you're not screwing into the track that the door slides in. So that means that the screws will be going a little bit lower than that track. We're using P4 screws. Step 3, we would attach the handle to operate this door. However, assembling this coupe today, we are going to have a run, and when we have a run, we don't do step 3 now. We hold on step 3 and we'll do it after the run is in place. And I'll explain why and how the handle goes once we have the run assembled. The nesting bars are held in place by 2 of these. What you do is you slide this in and you put it in, and there it is. The nesting bars that are flat on the ends are the ones that go in here. Flat end against the spot it's supposed to fit. Flat, it's in place. Fits up here. There's 2 spots for it to fit. I recommend you put it in the one under the wire first and then put it here, because you're going to have to push down to make it go in place. The nesting bars are places that the chickens can rest, but they also act as internal bracing and support in the event of very, very severe weather. Step 7. This is roofing panel R. It's going on the nesting box. I'm going to line up the hasp with what's on the coop. I'm going to tilt up the hinges and put the screws in. The screws are 4s, P4s, and there's 3 in each hinge, so there's 6 per roof panel. On the nesting box roof, you want this flashing to go on the very, very top. I match it right on the side, and that is to prevent rain from getting into the nesting box. There's pre-drilled holes, and I put the screw in. And screw that in place. There's 3 holes. This is the exact procedure that will be followed on the other side. There's 2 ways to keep this lid up when you're collecting your eggs. One are the pegs that can be put out, and that will hold the lid in place, or the other will be clips that we are installing right now. The clips will go onto the roof panels and will hold this in place. Take the little eye bolt and I put it in there. Give it about 3 or 4 screws, and then my old hands aren't strong enough, so I use this as the tool. If you get fancy, I can just spin it right in. And that's good right there. Perfect. I like it good. Roof panels, I put them in place. They're actually framed so that they fit onto the existing structure. And I believe that we're looking at K and L for the roof panels. Number 2 screws. P3s. And that looks good. And there's 4 places to screw, and they are P3s. In place, hasp down, latched and secure. Thank you for buying the Orpington Lodge hen house. A run is available if you want to expand your lodge, and I appreciate your business.